Hello everyone, I welcome you all to Manu Law Classes Current Affair Analysis. In this video, we will discuss August 12th, The Hindu Delhi edition newspaper. So our main topic of concern for today is about the new amendment which has been brought in the IPC sections, and we will discuss about the Bhartiya Nyaya Sanhita. Then we will discuss about the Bhartiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita. Then we will discuss about the Bhartiya Sakshya. These three important bills. Then we will discuss about an issue called midday meal schemes issue, and in that we will discuss about the Poshan Abhiyan. Then we will discuss about the Chandrayaan 3 and whether it is having any danger from Lunar 25 mission of Russia or not. Then we will discuss about G20 and also about WIP. So these are our main topic of concern, the most important being these three. So let us begin our discussion with the very first amendment which has been brought by BJP government. So here IPC, CRPC and Evidence Act, it will be amended, and there has been a proposal that the maximum punishment for mob lynching should be death or the capital punishment. Then there is also one provision that there should be 10 years of jail for any physical relationship on the false promise of marriage. And there is also a repeal of section on sedition. So we will discuss the nitty-gritty of this particular news. So here the British era IPC, that is Indian Penal Code, Indian Evidence Act and Code of Criminal Procedure, it will be amended and the new name will be the Bhartiya Nyaya Sanhita for the IPC. For the CRPC or the Criminal Procedure Act, it will be Bhartiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita, and for the Indian Evidence Act, it will be Bhartiya Sakshya. So these are the three important names, just remember them. Then in this particular Bhartiya Nyaya Sanhita Bill 2023, it has been provided that there will be a provision for the capital punishment, which means there will be death penalty as the maximum sentence for any mob lynching, and there will be a 10-year of imprisonment for any sexual intercourse with a woman for any false promise of marriage. So these are the two important provisions which has been introduced. Then the bill also says that the sexual intercourse by a man with his own wife and the wife not being under 18 or minor is not a rape. So here the court or this particular amendment does not talk about marital rape. So here these are the important provisions. Now our Home Minister said that the bill for the first time defines terrorism and offences such as separatism, armed rebellion against the government that is challenging the sovereignty of the country, and it has been mentioned under different provision of the law, and the bill proposes a total number of 313 amendments that will bring revolutionary changes in the criminal justice. Now the name is important. Other than that, there has been repealment or the repealing of the Sedition Act and the section 150 of the Bhartiya Nyaya Sanhita. It will deal with these offences which is there in the sedition clause, and here the term sedition has been removed, but here the particular offence is being dealt which endangers the sovereignty, unity and integrity of India. So this is the most important act which will be amended. So just remember about this act. Moving further toward our next important article, that is talking basically about a news where there has been an instance of 28 students of MCD school fall ill after eating the midday meal scheme, and in the explanation the mayor said that there was a gas leak from the drain and that resulted in the food poisoning. So this news is not important for us, but this scheme is important for us, that is the midday meal scheme and the Poshan Abhiyan or the Poshan Act. So we will discuss in detail about these two. What is the midday meal scheme? Just to start writing down about the important provision of this scheme. So here the midday meal scheme was started in India on 15th August 1995 as the National Program of nutritional support to primary education. Okay, this was the name of midday meal scheme. It was renamed in the year of October 2007 as National Program of Midday Meal Scheme in School. Okay, it was short. The short form of this whole name is Midday Meal Scheme, and it was renamed in the year of 2007. And under this scheme, the hot cooked meal was provided per day to the student who are studying within the class of 1 to 8, and they were enrolled in the government school, local school bodies, government aided school and special training center, maktabs, maktabs, madrasas, and they were supported by the Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan. So all these schools in which the student from class 1 to 8 were enrolled, they were provided midday meal. Talking about the objective, that why this particular mission was started, why this scheme was started. So it was in order to increase the enrollment of the student in schools who belong to the disadvantaged section of the society. This scheme was introduced to increase the attendance of children in government as well as government aided school, to retain the child studying till 1 to 8 class. This scheme was introduced, and there was also one objective that this scheme will provide nutritional support to children studying in this age or within class 1 to 8 elementary stage. They were given nutritional support or proper nutritional support. This scheme was introduced, and the most important objective was to combat hunger and malnutrition issues in these disadvantaged sections. So these are the major objective of this scheme. Talking about the features of the midday meal scheme, every school will provide hygienic cooking infrastructure for hygienically cooked midday meals. The midday meals are to be served only on the school premises on all the working days, and the headmaster or the headmistress is entitled to utilize the school fund on account of the midday meal fund exhaustion. And there was also quality items which will be certified by the egg mark. This will be taken into account. These products will be used for ensuring the proper quality, and 2 to 3 adult members taste the cooked meal from the school management committee, and the Food and Drug Administration Department of the state can collect the sample in order to assure the quality and the nutritional value of the meal. In case if the school is not providing any food, so it will have to provide a food allowance. Okay, food allowance will be provided to the children when the cooked meal cannot be provided under any circumstance. For example, if the quality of food grain is not as per mark, or the cooking cost will be very high, so in that case food allowance will be given to student. Now we will discuss about PM Poshan. This is also related to this. PM Poshan scheme. So in September 2021, the midday meal scheme was renamed as Pradhan Mantri पोषण अभियान और पोषण स्कीम। ठीक है, यहाँ पे मेजर चेंजेस क्या क्या ब्रिंग किए गए थे इस पर्टिकुलर स्कीम में। सबसे पहले यहाँ पे जो आपका स्कीम था उसको प्रपोज किया गया कि इस पर्टिकुलर स्कीम को उन बच्चों के लिए भी इंट्रोड्यूस करना चाहिए जो आपके प्री प्राइमरी लेवल पे हैं, या आप कह सकते हैं बाल वाटिकास। तो जो प्री प्राइमरी लेवल में है, बाल वाटिकास में है, उधर भी आपका मिड डे मील को एक्सटेंड किया गया। और यहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट एडेड स्कूल है या कोई भी स्कूल है, गवर्नमेंट का स्कूल है, तो उन सब में ये सारे प्री प्राइमरी वाले बच्चों को भी मिड डे मील प्रोवाइड किया जाएगा. अदर देन दैट देयर वाज अ कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ तिथि bhojan was introduced and it will be encouraged. Tithi bhojan is a community participation program in which people provide special food to the children on special occasion or festivals. And the government is promoting the development of the school nutrition garden in school to give children first hand experience with nature and the gardening. So there was also a concept of the nutrition or the school nutrition garden. ओके, यहाँ पे जो भी हार्वेस्ट होगा इस गार्डन के अंदर, जो भी हार्वेस्ट होगा वो आपका मिड डे मील में यूज किया जाएगा. एंड दिस वाज इंश्योर्ड कि इससे आपका जो माइक्रो न्यूट्रिएंट का डेफिशिएंसी है उसको भी कॉम्बैट किया जा सके. इसके अलावा सप्लीमेंट्री न्यूट्रिशन आइटम्स जो थे वो भी बच्चों को प्रोवाइड किए जाएं. सप्लीमेंट्री न्यूट्रिशन अपार्ट फ्रॉम फूड items, it will be also provided to children who are suffering from anemia or those districts which is having much more cases of anemia. And there was cooking competition which will be encouraged at all level, right from the village to the national level, to promote the ethnic cuisine and the innovation menus or based on the legally या locally available ingredient and vegetable. So there was also a provision of cooking competition which will be introduced in this scheme, which was introduced in this scheme. And one more important feature was that there was involvement of the FPOs or the farmer producer organization and also of women SHGs or self-help group for the implementation of this scheme. And there will be a use of locally grown traditional food, locally grown traditional food which will be used. Okay, so these are important amendments which has been brought in PM Poshan Abhiyan. Now moving back to our newspaper, and now we will discuss our other important news, that is about whip which will be there, which has been introduced or issued in the Maharashtra. So here Shiv Sena will take action against 5 MPs of the Uddhav section or the Uddhav faction for violating whip. So here Eknath Shinde led Shiv Sena on Friday said that it will take legal action against those 5 MPs of the rebel Uddhav Thackeray led Shiv Sena for violating the whip issued to all the Sena MP to vote against the no confidence motion brought by the opposition against the Narendra Modi government. So this is the important news. Now what you have to know apart from this is the basic aspect of whip. What is a whip and when the whip is issued? What is the meaning of this term whip? So whip in the parliamentary parlance is written order. It is either a written order that party members be present for an important vote. Okay, or in whichever direction they want to give the vote, the whip is issued in that order, and this is a basically written order. Now the term whip has been derived from the old parliament or the old British practice of whipping in lawmakers to follow the party line. So this has been taken from the British Parliament concept, and here the term whip has came into account. Talking about the appointment, in India, all the party can issue a whip to their members and party appoint a senior member from among the house contingent to issue whip, and that member is called chief whip. देखो whip एक तो whip दो डायरेक्शन में समझो, एक तो ये आपका रिटन ऑर्डर होता है और दूसरा ये एक पर्सन के लिए भी यूज होता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल कांग्रेस पार्टी है, इफ वी टेक इनटू अकाउंट, तो कांग्रेस पार्टी एक पर्सन जो सीनियर मोस्ट होंगे उसको अपॉइंट कर देगी कि आप आज से हमारे विप हैं पार्टी के। और ये जो पर्सन होगा ये आपका चीफ विप कहलाएगा, ही विल बी कॉल्ड चीफ विप। और यहाँ पे ये एक रिटन ऑर्डर इशू करेगा, उसको भी विप कहते हैं। फॉर एग्जाम्पल यहाँ पे नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन की बात हो रही है, तो नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन के लिए सबको वोट करना है। ये विप ने विप इशू किया है, चीफ विप ने इस विप को इशू किया पूरे पार्टी मेंबर्स के लिए, एंड एवरी पार्टी मेंबर हैज टू फॉलो द ऑर्डर, otherwise they will be disqualified under defection. Okay, so this is the main concept that you have to understand. The person or the chief person, chief whip, will issue whip, and there will be also, he will be also assisted by additional whips. Now what kind of whips are there? If we talk about kind of whip, so here there are, first one is the one line whip. One line whip. Here it is usually issued to inform party members of a vote and allow them to abstain in case of they decide not to follow the party line. मतलब अगर वन लाइन व्हिप इशू हुआ है तो यहाँ पे नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन के लिए आपको पास करना पड़ेगा, या फिर तो आपको उसके वोट में फेवर करना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो आप वोट मत दीजिए, बट अगर आप वोट दे रहे हैं तो आपको फेवर में ही वोट करना पड़ेगा। दूसरा होता है, there is second type of whip that is called two line whip. It directs them to present during the vote. Then comes the last one, or the three line whip. This is the strongest whip employed on important occasions such as second reading of the bill or the no confidence motion. तो third line whip जो होता है ये आपका इशू किया जाता है no confidence motion के लिए, और यहाँ पे ऑब्लिगेशन होता है। जैसे यहाँ पे आपको क्या है, यहाँ पे आपको आजादी है कि या फिर तो आप पास करिए या फिर आप मत करिए, वोट मत डालिए, लेकिन यहाँ पे आपको आजादी नहीं है। अगर आपको थ्री लाइन व्हिप इशू हो गया है तो यहाँ पे मेंबर्स के ऊपर ऑब्लिगेशन होता है कि आपको पार्टी के डायरेक्शन को फॉलो करना ही होगा। अगर कोई नहीं करता है व्हिप को फॉलो तो क्या होता है, देन देयर इज एन क्लॉज ऑफ एंटी डिफेक्शन लॉ which allows the speaker or the chairperson to disqualify such member, and the only exception is when more than a third of the legislature vote against a directive, effectively splitting the party। या फिर तो आपका पार्टी स्प्लिट हो जाए, नहीं तो उस मेंबर को डिस्क्वालीफाई कर दिया जाता है। सो दिस इज एन इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट, बार बार ये न्यूज में आ रहा है विप, तो आपको पता होना चाहिए। आगे बढ़ते हैं अपने अगले इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल की तरफ, दैट इज कमिंग फ्रॉम द चंद्रयान 3 एंड लूनर 25 मिशन। सो हियर द रशियन स्पेस एजेंसी हैज सेड लूनर 25 विल नॉट अफेक्ट चंद्रयान। We know, we have already seen this news that Russia's space agency Roscosmos, it has launched Lunar 25, which said that it will be landing on the south pole of the moon, and here it has cleared this thing that it will not harm India's Chandrayaan 3 mission, which has already launched in July 14, and it will land on August 23 if everything goes well. So here Lunar 25, it was launched from Russia's Vostochny space port or the country's far east region on Friday. Its lunar landing is also expected to reach the moon on August 23, the same day in which the Chandrayaan 3 is expected. So these will land on different landing areas as it was planned, and there is no danger or no harm that they will collide, nothing like that, but definitely they both will land on the same day. There is enough space on the moon for everyone, so that's why there is no problem like that. And Lunar 25 is static, it will not move on the surface as it is in the case of Chandrayaan 3, it will move on the surface. Here basically Lunar 2 launching of this particular satellite onto the flight trajectory to the moon will take 1 hour and 20 minutes, and the duration of the flight from the earth to the moon is 5 days. So it will stay in the lunar orbit from 5 to 7 days depending on the landing areas, okay, as said by the Russian Space Agency. And ISRO will be a moving one, its satellite will be a moving one. So here it will be having a lander and a rover which will touch the lunar surface and also move and conduct various surveys. So this is an important news, you have to learn more about Lunar 25. I have already prepared a short on that, so just go and see that. Moving further toward our next important article, that is coming in from the editorial section, and here we will discuss about India needs a new economic policy. So here the news is basically about that NSO has released its fourth quarter growth rate figure, and here measuring against the fourth quarter rate figure, the data is gloomier. It has been said by the PIB. So according to the NSO data in the first COVID-19 pandemic quarter 2020-21 or April 1 to June 30, 2020, the GDP growth rate was in minus, while when it was compared to the GDP of the same period in 2019-20. So there are three conclusions based on this data, that 2014-15 are important reality check, and the growth of rate of the GDP since 2015-16 has been declining annually. तो यहाँ पे ऑथर जो है वो ये कह रहे हैं 2015-16 से हमारा जो जीडीपी का रेट है वो कंटिन्यूअसली डिक्लाइन हो रहा है, और यहाँ पे इट हैज फॉलन इन द फोर्थ क्वार्टर ऑफ व्हाट इट वाज अर्लियर. तो यहाँ पे ये जो आपका हिंदू रेट ग्रोथ है, इकोनॉमिस्ट जो आपके बोलते हैं, वो आपका 3.5 ग्रोथ रेट है जीडीपी का. दूसरा इंपॉर्टेंट इन्फेरेंस हम क्या निकाल सकते हैं कि यहाँ पे जब से प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने पब्लिसाइज किया है अपना विकास वाला कॉन्सेप्ट, और इन्होंने बेसिकली सो कॉल्ड हिंदू रेट ऑफ ग्रोथ जो है अपने जीडीपी को कॉन्सेप्ट बनाया है, तब से हम देखने को मिल रहा है कि यहाँ पे ये जो पीरियड है 1950 से 77 का, ये सोशलिज्म पीरियड था, और उसके बाद जीडीपी जो है आपकी कंटिन्यूसली डिक्लाइन कर रही है. थर्ड इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज ड्यूरिंग द टेन्योर ऑफ द पीवी नरसिम्हा राव एंड मनमोहन सिंह, जीडीपी ग्रोथ रेट for the first time to between 6 to 8% per year over 15 period. So यहाँ से हम क्या inference निकाल सकते हैं कि right now our GDP is decreasing. This has been said by the author, not me. So here the author is saying that GDP is declining continuously, but during the time of Manmohan Singh and Narasimha Rao, इट वॉज द इंस्टेंट जब आपका जीडीपी जो था वो 6 to 8 पर ईयर जा रहा था, इंक्रीज कर रहा था, और ये 15 साल में सबसे ज्यादा हाई था. अब यहाँ पे नरसिम्हा राव और मनमोहन सिंह की जो इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम थी उसके बारे में हमें पढ़ने के लिए इंपॉर्टेंस जाननी होगी, जिससे हम ये जो जीडीपी का ग्रोथ रेट है उसको इंक्रीज कर सकें. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, what was the reform introduced in the economic system? This is important for us. To reduce the state participation and the increased incentive of capital and labor provider, thus achieving higher and faster growth rate. So we know कि कभी भी जीडीपी को या प्रोडक्शन को इंप्रूव करने के लिए लैंड, लेबर, कैपिटल, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, दीज आर द 4 पिलर्स. तो यहाँ पे अगर हम कैपिटल को और लेबर को इंसेंटिव देंगे, कैपिटल को और लेबर को इंसेंटिव देंगे, तो उससे क्या होगा, हमारा जीडीपी जो है वो ग्रो करेगा. दिस strategy or this thing was used by PV Narasimha Rao and Manmohan Singh. Now, what is alarming today is the continuously declining GDP growth rate since it began in 2016, और ये continuously decline ही कर रहा है. अब यहाँ पे क्या क्या स्टेप्स लेने की जरूरत है? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इज स्ट्रक्चरिंग. यहाँ पे इसका मतलब क्या है कि जो आपके इकोनॉमिक ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हैं और जो प्रायोरिटीज हैं उसके अलग अलग ऑब्जेक्टिव्स को हमें देखना चाहिए, और उसके बेसिस पे एक स्ट्रैटेजी डिफाइन करनी चाहिए. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर हम अभी के इकोनॉमिक कंडीशन को देखें तो यहाँ पे पर्सनल इनकम टैक्स जो है it is abolished and GST scrapped to incentivize the investor and earner. तो जब किसी के पास इंसेंटिव नहीं रहेगा तो definitely it will be a setback for the economy and the production. So that is what the author is saying कि there is a need of structuring. Then comes the resources. Resources should be mobilized, or the resources by the government should be mobilized through the indirect taxes and also by the liberal printing of the currency notes, which is to be circulated by paying wages to the employment generated in extensive public work. और इसके बेसिस पे हम इंसेंटिव दे सकते हैं लेबर. So these are the important things which has been said by the author कि कैसे हम जीडीपी को इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं. आगे बढ़ते हैं अपने अगले इंपॉर्टेंट न्यूज की तरफ, which is again coming in from the international relation. So we will discuss about one important aspect which has been in news quite since a long time, that is about the G20 Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam logo. So here the center defend use of the Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam in G20 logo as China object. So here Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, this is a basically Sanskrit term. The world is one family. ये हमने G20 का लोगो रखा है. अब यहाँ पे चाइना ने ऑब्जेक्ट किया है कि ये लोगो क्यों रखा गया, बिकॉज संस्कृत इज नॉट अ G20 लैंग्वेज, ओनली इंग्लिश इज द G20 लैंग्वेज. तो इसके बिहाफ पे गवर्नमेंट ने अपना स्टैंड रखा है दैट द इंग्लिश वर्जन ऑफ द वसुधैव कुटुंबकम इज वन अर्थ, वन फैमिली एंड वन फ्यूचर. सो हेयर दैट्स व्हाई दिस इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. हमने ऑलरेडी यहाँ पे अपने इंग्लिश टर्म्स में इस थीम को रखा है. तो यहाँ पे जो आपका एनर्जी ट्रांजिशन मिनिस्टर्स मीटिंग हुई थी गोवा में, इस संस्कृत पेज को ओमिट किया गया और G20 प्रेसिडेंसी जो है उसमें थीम क्या है, वन अर्थ, वन फैमिली, वन फ्यूचर, एंड इट इज बेस्ड ऑन इंडिया सिविलाइजेशनल इथोस. ओके, talking about the next important news which is coming in from the international relation sector, where we will discuss about the ECOWAS. ECOWAS block to keep troops ready for the Niger. We know कि नाइजर में अभी कूप हुआ है और ये जो नाइजर का कूप है, it has disturbed the peace in the whole area. So now we will discuss about this particular important organization, that is ECOWAS. ECOWAS बहुत ज़्यादा न्यूज में है, so you should know about it, that what is ECOWAS and why it is so much important, why it is taking so much of interest. So ECOWAS is Western African National, Western Africa's nations regional group. It was established in which year? In 1975. It was established in 1975 through which treaty? Lagos Treaty. Okay. What is the mandate? First of all, it promote economic integration. It promote economic integration among its members. Okay. So here the aim of this particular organization is to have a single common currency, and create a single large trading bloc in the areas of industry, transport, telecommunication, energy, financial issues, and social and cultural matter. Now talking about who are the member countries of this particular organization. So it is a lot of countries are a member of this. First one is Benin, then come Burkina Faso, then comes Cape Verde, then comes Cote d'Ivoire, then the Gambia is also there, member of this country, is this grouping, Ghana, Guinea, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Mali, Nigeria, and the Sierra Leone, Senegal, and Togo. So these are the important countries who are a part of ECOWAS, and around 400 million people live in all these areas who are a member of ECOWAS. Now these countries have cultural and geopolitical ties and they share a common economic interest. The headquarters of ECOWAS is in Abuja, Nigeria. Okay. And beyond the goals of economic cooperation, ECOWAS has attempted to quell military conflict in the region. ECOWAS has also operated regional peacekeeping operation called ECOMOG. This is a peacekeeping operation and it was led by Nigeria in 1990s and early 2000. Okay, so this is a very important organization. I am hoping a question will come on this. So these are the important articles which we discussed in our The Hindu analysis. Just go and refer to all the basics aspect of all these things and read all this article one more time so that it can help you to remember the facts. Thank you everyone. Thank you for attending this lecture.